Namaste, angels. Happy Diwali. This is our Scorpio new moon reading. We're going to jump right in, beginning with the Knight of Swords, which can be a lot of things. Might represent in your life a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius that is particularly significant, or this can be about information that you've been waiting for coming in. This can be about you traveling, things picking up where they had been sort of slow, lulled, delayed, stuck. They're moving. You don't want to wait around for other people to do things that they've been taking too long to do. If there's anything you're able to do yourself, you're going to want to get to it. Particularly for singles and love, this can be meeting somebody, getting totally swept off your feet. Maybe not just meeting somebody new, but perhaps your ex is walking back into your life. The Hermit with regard to love can be about exes rekindling their relationships. But otherwise, in terms of information coming in, maybe that information is coming in from a professor. Maybe it's your grades if you're in school, or you've been approved for graduation or a degree, PhD or something. This can also be maybe you getting some sort of certification, you having completed something, learned something, and you're getting information about that, or from your lawyer. Sometimes the Hermit for me is that representative of a lawyer, and I see that the major arcana card Justice is also upright behind this Knight of Swords and this Hermit. So maybe again the information that's coming in is about a court case, and it could be any kind, civil court, so being sued or suing someone for money, or divorce, family, estate. I see it coming out positive for you and abundant in your favor, or at least amicably, maybe everybody's favor. So, there's a sense of security and stability that one is left with after receiving this information, or, this settlement, or, having completed these business dealings that may involve an air sign, maybe particularly a Libra, and or the planet Mercury, and maybe particularly a Virgo or a Gemini. After that's done, it leaves you in a good place. And the next card is in reverse, but it was the Seven of Wands. So this would have been about protecting yourself, defending your energy, your decisions, your family. Similarly to these cards, with the energy deck, we started with card number 43, Man Holding a Coin. So this can also be somebody coming into your life, or some information coming into your life, maybe particularly having to do with your financial life and your security, stability. Somebody that maybe helps you in that area, is beneficial to you, helps you to increase your abundance in that area materially or financially, and or somebody that wants to be generous with you, maybe particularly in an earth sign. Again, maybe starting with Virgo, but perhaps also a Taurus or a Capricorn. Venus enters Capricorn tomorrow, I think it is. We'll go over what else happens in addition to the new moon in Scorpio this week. We'll go over what else happens as far as the celestial system at the end, after I do the cards, so at the end of the reading. But I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow, the 5th, that Venus enters Capricorn. So this could be representative of that. Of course, Venus, the goddess and planet of love, of money, of abundance in general. So generosity, stability, security, something happening with one's career. So again, maybe getting information, maybe of a new job, or something that will help you to earn a new job or promotion. Again, like a certification or something. And once again, with these other cards, the Animal and Angel Tarots, we're starting with the Page of Pentacles, who is cheerful, reliable, intelligent, mischievous, and again, possibly has something to do with a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes, and or our material lives, our financial lives. A wonderful opportunity related to your work or education, such as a promotion, scholarship, is coming your way. Seize this chance to learn something exciting or to start a more rewarding and uplifting career. In terms of love, Page of Pentacles, especially for those who are in longer and or more committed relationships, could be getting a wandering eye, maybe a little bored over your situation. Maybe you are the Virgo in this situation that wants to be with their ex instead, or that you're represented by the Virgo energy, even if you're not a Virgo yourself. again, that wants to return to an ex or has an ex returning to them. And that would also make sense in connection to Major Arcana card 20, Judgment, which does represent the sign of Scorpio and the planet Pluto, which is one of Scorpio's rulers. And Judgment can be about second chances. That's why I said it could have something to do with your ex here. Can also have to do with judgments. So like I said, court cases. And making judgment calls, being overly judgmental. So those are things we need to watch. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. Judgment is actually one of my favorite cards because for me, it also represents like abundance that's earned. You know, so there's something coming your way and it's because you deserve it. You've earned it. Whatever you went through may have been a rocky start, or it may have been dependent upon some sort of truth coming out, with the Ace of Swords being the next card. Also upright, implementation of your brilliant new idea may get off to a rocky start, but keep going. The challenges will help you to refine your plan, to reshape your goals into something even better. Ace of Swords, also a card of victory. And then we have yet another, this time the Knight of Pentacles, also upright. He is trustworthy, dedicated, protective, and funny. Still a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's important to make a detailed plan before starting any new endeavor. Once you have that plan in place, then you can take immediate action and get as much accomplished as possible. And this may be something you've been working at for a while. You've been patient. You've been, doing what was required to do in order to, the right steps in order to get to this place. Seeds well planted. Even if it seems like nothing's been happening, that's just a temporary pause in action. And so any worry about that is unnecessary because, again, you've done what you needed to do. And then, boom, the result is another 10 of Pentacles. So, again, abundance, security, stability, a very happy family life, financial security, and finding magic in the little things in life. The next card is Major Arcana card Ego, or the Devil, card number 15. It is in reverse. The Devil does represent the sign of Capricorn, again, most directly in the tarot. So I think for the spread, I'm going to use the energy deck. So we'll take, before I take these away, I'll shuffle these a bit because I will use these as clarifiers. These are good to use as clarifiers since it's 2 decks. So there's 2 of each card, and messages can repeat themselves, or cards can take a different meaning when paired with a different card. So these are nice to use as clarifiers. When I do clarify cards using these, another reason I like to use these is I can tell whether they are upright or in reverse, and I like to pull the next upright card, even if that means I have to dig through, all the cards that are in front of me for a while to find an upright card. I like to do that and clarify with that one. And I'm that confident in my cards and my guides that even if I have to dig all the way up to here and pull this card as a clarifier, this is going to be the right card. And it's going to, totally match up properly. Our overall energy for this reading from this deck is the 2 of Cups, a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, and the positive resolution of a conflict. So I'll just set these aside for a moment. Again, we're going to use these. Opening first with the Healer of the Ages, card number 51. The World. Deceit in reverse. And back to the man holding a coin. Quickly turn my phone off if I can reach it without getting up. Our overall energy is card number 41, the 7th chakra with Archangel Ariel. 7th chakra is, of course, the crown chakra, representative of the air signs, and particularly Gemini, because it's very representative of Mercury, the communication planet, the planet of thought, right? And so Mercury, of course, Gemini's ruler. And the next card is the Magician, and it is in reverse. Okay. So this first card, well, I'm just to lay the placement. This card here will represent divine being or couple. You can read it as, you know, look at the spread as an individual or for your, in terms of your relationship as a couple. Recent past, near future, masculine's higher self, blocks to individual or shared progress, the feminine can do to help herself with the block, the masculine can do to help himself with the block, what the universe would have each archetype or both archetypes do to help themselves with the block, and actually what the universe wants to also help us with if we allow it to with our free will, and what we can expect to sort of be completed in time to end with the full moon that comes on November 19th, 11/19. So I'll put these here. Divine being a couple. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel. And the fifth chakra, of course, is the throat chakra. So Gabriel coming in, more of this air energy, more of this Mercury, Gemini perhaps. Gabriel coming in with words. We have to speak up for ourselves. We have something to communicate, something to say, and we are supported in that area over this period. Recent past. Walking away. Now, recent past can be the past prior to you seeing this reading, or the past as it occurs, you know, over the next couple of weeks. So like, you know, today the reading will be brand new, but I'm going to leave it up. I'm going to leave it to cover a period of 2 weeks. So next week, this will be in the recent past. You know, I will have done the reading already. Reading will have been up for a week already. So I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So this may have happened for some of us already, or it could be still to come for some of us, is basically the point. Near future. Fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael in reverse. So there's a blockage with the heart chakra, or there will be. Or what we can be working on in the near future is, you know, unblocking that. We're ridding ourselves of the block. Masculine's higher self. Storm warning. This card, I have to mention, and this might just be in part a reminder to me. So back in September, I was talking about volcanoes and fires and stuff. And I had said it when I think the reading started that week, the 19th, September 19th. I don't remember. But for whatever reason, I went into detail about the 19th, and I mentioned that it was my ex's birthday, my niece's birthday, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, there ended up being a volcanic eruption on September 19th. Fires continued to burn. So a couple weeks later, a couple weeks ago, rather, I mentioned it again. I said, you know, I understand that these fires are still burning from this, or that, you know, there's still lava and stuff, like it's still continuing to erupt, sort of. And now, today, I saw a lot of, on a lot of different outlets, talk of a tsunami that's expected to come down the East Coast, like the entire East Coast of the country, supposedly because of that volcano. So when I was shuffling these cards earlier today, I was going to do the reading, just now getting around to it. But when I shuffled the cards, this card jumped out. And when I saw that, I said, oh, I wonder if it's really talking about like a real storm in terms of the tsunami. And look, this looks like a tornado or something. But actually in the deck, or the way the author intends it, you know, storm warning is about some sort of, it's similar to the tower, like, you know, emotional upheaval, or some sort of difficult time or something. In reverse, it would be a lot better. But the masculine, you know, perhaps going through something or having recently gone through something that he's maybe trying to come out the other side of. Also, in the love reading, which I posted this morning, I recorded yesterday, I mentioned those fires and things again, that volcano again, because this is before I saw the stuff on the news today or on the internet today about the tsunami warnings. I saw the tower in that reading. I think it was particularly for the fire signs, if I remember correctly. And I said, somebody, people could be separated because of an actual fire, a flood or something. That came through. I saw that. So that may have something to do with this too. Blocks to individual or shared progress. Indecision, but it's in reverse. So there could be progress being made there in terms of, figuring out what it is we want. But what to do about the block, or how to help ourselves from the feminine perspective with the block. Door to personal healing and happiness is, so it's about the decision that you make. Like if you decide to make yourself happy, or you decide to, personal healing and happiness, or you decide to make somebody else happy. So the way to get past this block is to, do what's best for you and enter the door of personal healing and happiness, as opposed to lending yourself to other people all the time. What the masculine can do to help himself, it's man holding a heart in reverse. And that can have to do with like a difficult connection or relationship. It's sitting right here next to the fourth chakra, Archangel Raphael. Again, also in reverse, there can be about a heart chakra blockage. And maybe it's because he had experienced something that, again, the worst times of that experience are behind him now. This is about, the trouble being behind you, or at least beginning to fall away, and you moving into a far better space. So that may allow him to begin to release these, these painful things from the heart. That's what he's going to need to do in order to move past this blockage, this place of indecision and feeling stuck. It's something from before that's holding him back, emotionally. And if he wants to move forward, he's going to have to consciously decide to move forward and to release these old things from his heart, because there is healing that wants to happen. Raphael helping him through that, so wanting to support him through that. And, in time for that Taurus full moon and lunar eclipse, both of which are about, pretty final endings. So it's like about not having to revisit this again, but it begins with that conscious decision to let it go. And that's how he can help himself. I'm just reminded that our overall energy from the other cards is the Two of Cups. The reason that we're being faced with this could be because there's another partner or potential partner that's like waiting in the wings, or at least, energetically, if not physically and consciously, maybe subconsciously and energetically, we're waiting for each other. We know who the soulmate is, and we want to move toward them, but we can't as long as we have this other energy that's still there. Two of Cups, of course, about a relationship that continues to go closer, also forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. And in addition to that, it's about real love, real relationships, genuine partnerships, balanced partnerships, reciprocity, that's what you could have if you release, the pain and the hurts. That's what the masculine can do to help himself, is basically walk away from those old emotions. All right, we have this walking away card here underneath the storm warning and above the reversed heart chakra too. All the masculine's cards in reverse as well, I will point out. What the universe, would have each and every one of us to do to help ourselves and wants to help us with. Moving beyond anxiety. Moving beyond anxiety. Because that's what's preventing us from making a decision. That's what's bringing us to this place of indecision. And it comes from a real place. It's not like we're just feeling anxious or worrisome for no reason. It's because we've been through this storm, but we have to acknowledge the fact that's ending and let it end. Like sometimes we hold on to things out of fear, and we don't believe that we're going to move into a better place. And if you don't believe, then you don't, because you're keeping yourself in that old place. Actually, I see lightning. Yep. Can you see that? That's the lightning from this card. This card shows up to remind us or reconfirm what I was just saying, that this storm is moving away. Look how it's like in the distance, and where she's sitting is more clear. Right, the sky has cleared up. These are clouds that are moving. They're moving into the distance from her. So it says all that to say that there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be anxious about anymore. Like this is beyond you. It's behind you. Let it go. I love how the cards do that. That's so funny. And I don't know if I've ever noticed that before. That lightning there, but I just saw it like out of the corner of my eye, which is pretty funny. And what we can expect to be coming to an end in time for, to be finally done with in time for the full moon and the lunar eclipse. The thinking woman. Thinking woman is somebody that comes in, gives us advice. She's pretty smart. It's often advice having to do with finances, but I don't see why it couldn't be love also. She's somebody we can talk to if we need somebody to talk to. She would help us to understand our feelings. She may be some sort of teacher in a more general sense that, comes into our life at this precise moment, this right time, like divine timing, to help us, take a new direction, because something's ending and we're going to start something new right after that full moon, right after that lunar eclipse. We're going to start something new again. She could also be our new love interest. Like I said, somebody could be waiting in the wings. It could be her. For us women or feminine energies, she could be representative of us. Again, this smart woman that has her, her head on straight, and she knows where she's going and all that. And she's, made a decision. So she's ready to enter this new space. She's ready to have finality to the difficult situations in her life, and she's got a book in her hand, right, to start a new chapter of that book or of her life. I don't really see anything that I feel like really needs clarifying, because I think it's been pretty straightforward, but I'm going to pull one anyway for the storm warning, maybe to see if we can get an idea of, for the most part, majority of the masculine, what it is they're dealing with. Is it financial? Is it romantic? Maybe we can get some sort of idea. And also, I guess, with the indecision. So, like I said, I like to choose the next upright card. And that's this one. So, for storm warning. And it is the King of Wands. He's inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Because again, there's difficult times, challenging times where you felt like incapacitated, unable to do anything or to move. That's over. So now you can step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. And the King of Wands, most directly in traditional tarot, represents the sign of Sagittarius, which follows Scorpio. So maybe this is something that begins now and culminates more so in Sagittarius season, from one thing as possible, or maybe it's has something to do with Sagittarius's ruler, Jupiter, the planet and god of expansion and growth and luck and karma. So it can be about your life changing for the better, for the positive as well. And may have something to do with the fire sign, or with you. Also, Scorpio's other ruler, Mars, is, represents represented by fire too. There's the red planet, and is also a ruler of the sign of Aries. This card can be, since it's a court card, about an actual person in your life. It can maybe an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Scorpio that is significant to you and or your situation. The next upright card is the next card, and so we'll use that for indecision. Maybe it will give us an idea as to, again, for the majority, what the indecision or decision is about. It's about a decision to let go of something and to allow yourself to transition into the new energy. So like I said, the spread looked pretty straightforward already, but I'm glad that we did get the clarity. Major Arcana card 13 release is death in the traditional tarot. It does represent the planet Pluto and the sign of Scorpio, and it is all about transition, endings, right? So death can be an ending in something, and then the transition is into the newness. With death, there's always birth, rebirth. It's time to release the past. Just like I was saying about the masculine, release the past and move on to something new, maybe someone new. This ending is the first step on the way to a happier future. So, boom, there you go for your indecision. All right, so I'll put these back here, and then I'll take these cards up, and we'll start our next spread. That will hopefully give us some answers specific to love and relationship from the perspective of the masculine. I'm going to take these, I'm going to shove them in the deck randomly. Take these, give them another quick shuffle. There's that healer of the ages again. One more. And the overall energy is the indecision, followed by the man holding a coin. So maybe he's who has to make a decision, or maybe we need to make a decision about him. Again, he could be an earth sign directly, or this could be representative of somebody who is generous or wants to be generous with us, wants to share something with us, wants to help us, guide us. Divine feminine. We got two. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. We got two again. Himself. Okay, this is going to be interesting. You can tell already. And the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what the masculine would have the feminine, what kind of energy he would have her, bring or give to the union or connection if it were up to him. What he himself is bringing, giving. What the universe, we got two again, wants to help us with, and would have each or both archetypes to give to the union or connection, and the outcome, or again, what we can expect to be the focus going into the energy of the full moon in Taurus and the lunar eclipse. So the endings that are to come. Divine feminine. Envy. Card number 20. So this can be about us having some sort of jealousy about something or someone, or this could be aimed at us. Somebody else is envious of us. And the card, tells whom it's representing to let go of any, jealousy and envy. I want to say something else. So this woman, she's not broke. She lives a pretty abundant life, pretty affluent life. She's even got this, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but this tray has a bunch of coins on it. Now remember, we have man holding a coin here behind the indecision card. She's got a tray of coins. So what the card is about is, for the most part, not being appreciative, basically, of what you have already, and so you've got plenty, and you're still worried about what somebody else has or what you don't have or something like that. So it's about being thankful and appreciative, and what she specifically could have, perhaps, is maybe this man that's sitting here behind the indecision card, and possibly at risk of losing him because she's looking elsewhere, what somebody else has, and wanting to mess with that and have that also. So again, this can be talking about us, feminine, or this can be somebody else in relation to us, like them, wanting what we have. This man's heart maybe is connected to us energetically, and that's pissing her off. Now, it's called envy. We've been over in the general reading, particularly, that right now, Diwali, in fact, is a celebration of light over dark. And it's very much representative of this kind of scenario and these kinds of times. We just passed the Day of the Dead, and All Saints Day, All Souls Day, All Hallows. All of these are sort of days that are recognized when the veil between the realms is thin, and when there is a fight, energetically and spiritually, between light and dark. And so, as above, so below. So that also shows up here. And we will be dealing, or many of us have been already, dealing with these situations of basically people trying to sabotage you, or, wishing you not something less than the best. You know what I mean? So, again, divine feminine, or feminine. Either this is what the divine feminine is dealing with, or this is where she is right now, and she needs to work on that if that's the case. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Again, we got 2 cards. We got community, and we got door to personal happiness. Now, community, both cards equal 7, by the way. All right, this is card number 7, community, and the door to personal healing and happiness is card number 34. This one was actually in reverse. Too. Let me mention that. And they're similar looking cards in terms of the aesthetic, right? All these plants and the greenery, the fruit, the flowers. This is where the peace is, though, right? You see the dove. So this is really where the peace and happiness is. Rainbow, light. This one doesn't look bad, but they're all like doing their own thing and looking away. And notice that there's 3. So this could be about some sort of party of 3, and maybe that's what the decision is, needing to choose one, exit a situation where there, 3 is a crowd, or stop listening to other people. We also have, I'm the JD song, Jay-Z and Alicia Keys, about New York. Don't bite the apple, Eve. That's what I just heard. I saw these apples here. So there's like temptation maybe also happening to do the wrong thing. And there's a choice, right? So the masculine as it relates to himself, feeling all tied up by what? Financial constraints. So he feels maybe like he doesn't have enough to offer, or anything to offer. There's instability, there's insecurity with him. He just feels stuck. Can't seem to end up where I'm trying to get. I would like to be the man with the coin. Having a lot of trouble getting there. And maybe, again, the feminine, in at least one scenario, perhaps is more abundant than him. And so there could be some, feelings of inadequacy, and just being stuck on the part of the masculine. Also, this could be about him being stuck, maybe due to money, with a family, wife, family, something where he doesn't want to be, but it feels like I'm with this person, I can't afford to leave or to have two separate relationships. Not coming through here right now. Let's see his the masculine with regard to the union or connection as a whole between him and the divine feminine, even if it's only energetic. And that's wonderful. That's cornucopia, and it's a card number 11. It's a 2, it's partnership, it's happiness. This is wonderful. This is where he would like to be. Was it in reverse? Did I flip it around? I actually think that it was in reverse, which actually would make sense too with what we've been talking about, because in reverse, this card is about like frustration and just feeling like discouraged, like you never get what it is you want. Your wishes are always denied, or you're always disappointed. There's always a delay. You're always stuck. You don't have what you need, like the money or whatever. You're tied up. You're restricted. There's constraints. There's obstacles. There's blocks, and so again, that leads to frustration. It can also be about a cycle, or period of lack or loss, or again restriction, and we shouldn't let that like stop us from trying to achieve our goals, or going after what we want, or getting out of this place of indecision and making a conscious decision as to what it is we want and where we want to be and with whom we want to be, because it can also be about a lesson that just has to be learned. So we could learn this lesson maybe over the next week or two, and learning that lesson will tell us what direction to take, and lead us to something new. So it's about being open, being flexible, being as positive as possible, and remembering that there several different paths, possibilities. I just saw, as I was shuffling a card, adjacent possibilities. So more than one possibility, to lead toward happiness and way to achieve what it is we're trying to achieve. Overall, rest and rejuvenation. That could be all we need. Maybe sleep on it. Maybe meditate. Maybe just relax, and it'll come to you. Sometimes we got to silence ourselves, silence our mind, so that the answers come to us. Sometimes, like the angels, the guides, the ancestors, they're talking to us and we can't even hear them, because we got our minds all filled up with chatter, and clutter. I made up my own word, clatter. Yes, clatter and chatter. It's clatter. But look, it's the 19 again. So that's the date of the full moon, 11/19, and this is 11. The next card was 19. So yeah, whatever this is, I think this is another reconfirmation that it comes to an end with that energy, if it hasn't already. What the masculine would have the feminine, bring, give to the union or connection if we're up to him. And it is second chakra, Archangel Ariel. So she could help him with solar plexus healing, or her positive solar plexus, her energy, her solar plexus being open, her positive energy could help to heal him as well. And of course, that energy is about expression and creativity. A lot of people believe that our souls are located here. That's like in our stomach, in the abdomen, where the solar plexus is, and that's why when we get messages, intuitive messages, if it's something, if there's danger, we get a sinking feeling in our stomach. If it's something exciting, that sends our heart a flutter, we get we feel like we have butterflies in our stomach, and that's the positive, because that's where our soul is. Is a belief by many people. So what he would have her bring is this energy and maybe this ability to help him to, like, how do I do that? How did you get open like that? How did you get so creative and communicative and expressive, and and so bright, full with orange and yellow light? Like, I want to be like that too. And so her bringing that to him, could sort of lead the way and show him the way to achieving something similar. It also clears the path to emotional intimacy. And since it is about an energy about creation and creating, it can be about co-creating, so you bring that to the table for the two of us and we can make something together. With the masculine himself, he's stuck. So it's action in reverse. So there's inaction here from the masculine. And it's like there's something missing in his life, in his cipher, that's preventing him from doing an action, either like the motivation to do an action or the follow through, or maybe both in this case, with being all tied up. So, but that's what he's coming with right now. That's what he's showing up with at the moment, bringing to the table. And what the universe wants to help us with. The storm warning again. So getting through this difficult time or challenging time, whatever it is we're dealing with. And the garden and the gate. The garden and the gate is another card that can be about being sort of stuck. Like despite how it looks, it's more positive in reverse. Because if you look at the card closely, you see the gate is locked. So she's on the inside of it. The path, the road, the world is on the other side. So when the card shows up, there could be a lot of things that are positive that are on their way to us. It is a card of abundance. You see all the abundance and stuff outside. It can be money, other things that would make us happy, love, but there's some action required on our part too, like to sort of go get it, like unlock the gate and go get it. Or you could, remain content with what it is you have. But the universe is showing up to say it wants to help us to go and get like the bounty, the cornucopia that we deserve. And then those that choose to say, oh, forget it, I'll just stay here in this garden. I mean, the garden's nice enough. I'll just stay here. Are probably doing that out of fear or habit. So the universe wants to help us out of that mindset and out of those scenarios. And the outcome, or what we can expect. The door to spirit is on what we end. So most of us, if we're open to it, in desiring of this change or remaining positive, then the universe again wants to help us through these energies, so that when we reach the time of the Taurus full moon and the lunar eclipse, again, full moons in general, not just Taurus full moon, but full moons in general and lunar eclipses are both about endings. And with an eclipse, there's some real finality to the ending. It's said to literally clip things out of our lives that, until they fall away, and that's the end of it. So there is, even if you feel tied up and you feel stuck and you feel like there's no way, if you can turn around your mindset in time to be more positive and to believe that you can, within the next 2-3 weeks, you can get out of that space, then I believe then that is a possibility for you. I'm going to use the reverse cards that we didn't use before as the and for further advice to close out the reading. This one will be for the masculine, and it is Hermit. Take time for contemplation, to retreat and to go within. Be a beacon for others on their path to spiritual enlightenment. Again, for some of you, masculine means more than that. There will be some sort of situation involving, again, a teacher, a lesson, a lawyer, possibly a legal situation, something coming to an end for the positive. And or there could also be a rekindling of a relationship from your past with an ex. And of course, introspection is always what the Hermit means as well. Going within for your own personal clarity and understanding. Tie that to the rest and rejuvenation too, the meditation. And for the feminine, our card is the Eight of Cups. You feel that there's more to life than what you're living, so it's time to move on. You may be moving from a situation that isn't good for you, or perhaps you're being drawn to what would make you happy. Either way, you are in control. Just as I said, it's about you making a conscious decision to move out of your situation, whether it seems as if you're stuck or you're not. Hope you guys have enjoyed the reading. I'll be back soon with something else. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. Namaste. Happy Diwali.